Hey guys, I hope everybody is having a good week. So in this video I am going to be looking at the M. Graham watercolours. These were very kindly sent to me by Otto Cano, and I will leave a link to her channel and her Twitter down in the description bar, so make sure you go check her out. She's a very nice lady and she's a big watercolour painter as well. And she's doing some very nice paintings and has a great collection of paints, and you should go check her out. Otto sent very generous samples in a fold-up plastic palette. She did also wrap these in plastic to try and keep them from running about in the pans while being sent. So far, while storing, they can be stored without any covering. They can just be folded, the palette can be folded up and just stored. So the colours that she sent me were Hansa Yellow, Nickel Azo Yellow, Nickel Quinacridone Gold, Quinacridone Rust, Quinacridone Rose, Ultramarine Pink, Ultramarine Violet Deep, Anthraquinone Blue, Cerulean Blue Deep, Turquoise and Azo Green. I swatched out all of the colours in order here as they appear in the palette, and I also did a colour wheel using a few of the colours. I think they were the Quinacridone Rose, the Hansa Yellow and the Cerulean Blue, I believe. Now, as you saw from the swatches, they are very bright, vibrant colours. It was at the point where after I did the swatching and the mixing, I just sort of looked at them and I actually sighed a little bit because they were so amazing. Otto, what have you done? Oh no, these are so amazing, I want more of them. They are beautiful, they are vibrant, they just really sing. They remind me a little bit of Sennelier colours. And this would make sense because, like the Sennelier brand, they contain a lot of honey. M. Graham are based in the United States. They were founded in 1992, which is also my birth year. They pride themselves on being able to create vibrant and very clear colours, which all of these are. They're heavily pigmented and they work very well together. The paints are made with Northwest Blackberry Honey, which is what gives them their luminance. It also means that they are very soft paints and they never properly dry. This can cause some problems in warmer climates. I know that I think it was Jane Blundell said that they never set over in Australia. They're always runny and sticky. And this can be a problem if you don't like paints like that. For me, I often work with Sennelier and Old Holland, and they are quite gummy, sticky paints anyway, so I was used to paints like this. These paints re-wet and reactivate extremely easily, which is very helpful when on the palette to pick up colour and just mix it. It means you're not spending too much time scrubbing at the paint. However, there is also a downside. These do also re-wet a little bit easier than some other brands of paint when painting and glazing, so do be careful with that. I would recommend use a hard sized paper. I know Arches watercolour paper is hard sized and would be good for these. I don't recommend you use these with the Moulin de Roy paper, as the sizing allows it to lift colours extremely easily, and painting on that with these would be a nightmare. For the painting demonstration, I sketched out a fantasy scene of sort of miniatures of a fantasy mushroom house. I guess miniature because there's also a pretty big ant in the picture. This picture gave me lots of opportunities to use all of the colours that I had. The Hansa yellow, nickel azo yellow, nickel queen gold were mixed with the range of blues, so the Afriquidone blue, the cerulean blue and the turquoise for all the greens you see in the image. Both the purples, the ultramarine pink and the violet, were used for the flowers. The rust, the Quin rose and a mixture of a few of the other colours were used for the mushroom itself and the dirt, or earth that it all sits on. I also used the cerulean blue for the sky at the end. I had so much fun working with these paints, so thank you so much, Otto, for sending me some. These watercolours are available across the United States, so if you'd like to try some you can pick them up at art retailers. If you're not based in the US and you're based within the UK or Europe, I know that they are available from Lawrence Art Supplies, just like the Da Vinci. And just like the Da Vinci paints, these are investment paints. They come in large tubes, 15 millilitres, and they range from anywhere from £10 to £16 per tube. That's not bad considering the amount of paint you get in them and how pigmented that they are. Now as well, if you are looking to get some, maybe hold on a few months. I have been in conversations with Jackson's Art here in the UK, and they will soon be having these paints available on their website within the next few months. They've just started doing their oils, and they will soon be releasing the watercolours. So they may be a little bit cheaper or a little bit more easier to get hold of if you are based within Europe. Now Otto has not had these paints for much longer than I have from what I can put together, and there has been conversations with her and a few other artists over on Twitter about these paints and how people will find them. A botanical artist, Lee Angold, chimed in and said that she's used these paints before but has problems with the water in her area as it's hard water and can affect some of the pigments like the quinacridone rust. And here within the UK I'm also in a hard water area, and I did find that mixes with the quinacridone rust varied in colour and had some textures and granulations that weren't normal, so do keep that in mind if you're in a hard water area to maybe use bottled water or have a filter on your kitchen sink. If you would like to get more involved in this channel, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and leave a comment or a like on the video. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which I will link down below in the description bar as well. I will also leave any links to the paints from Lawrence Art Supplies, and I will also add the Jackson's link on there when they are available from Jackson's. So has anybody else tried these watercolour paints? And how do you find them? Do you find them bright and vibrant like myself? Do you have any problems with hard water or easy lifting? I personally have found them a joy to use. You can get extremely concentrated and bright mixes very easily. This is due to the easy ability to pick up large amounts of colour on your brush. But do be careful though, that paint can get stuck easily in between your bristles, so you may find yourself spending more time rinsing your brush. That honey also gives incredible flow to the paints. As you saw when I painted out the swatches, the paint flowed really well into the water that I thinned it down with. One thing I noticed when working with these watercolours is that I kept ending up with smears on my paper from where I've accidentally dipped my arm or hand into the wet paint in the palette. I don't believe it comes from the mixers, I think it's coming from the actual paint in the wells, because the paint in the wells is still quite wet, well, quite soft. You can easily poke it and make an indent with your finger. And obviously when you use it, it takes a bit of a while to dry. So I was probably picking up some colour with my hand and accidentally smearing it on the paper. So do be careful with that, as the paint is not fully setting. I believe this is the wettest brand I have used. Even Sennelier sets firmer than what these do. One of the reasons that Otto sent me these colours was that I am on a art supply ban, so I cannot buy any new paint or art supplies unless I run out of something. So trying new brands at the minute is not happening. Once my art ban has lifted, I will definitely be looking at getting these watercolours. I am making a big list of colours from brands and different art supplies that I want to buy once my ban has lifted. I definitely want to explore more with these paints. They are just beautiful. These are definitely comparable and on par with what I have in my current collection of watercolours. They're just as bright and as vibrant as Sennelier, and they're just as intensely pigmented as Old Holland. They're also just as bright as any Daniel Smith paint that I have used. I really enjoyed working on this painting, not just because of the paints. I quite like the style that came out when I was painting this. I feel often when I paint illustrative paintings that I'm a bit more free. I don't have any worries about messing it up so much because I'm having fun with it. I think that's the most important thing with art, and the important thing about art supplies. You want art supplies that will allow you that freedom to create art without stressing. That way you're not fighting the art supply all the way to get your desired result. So as a final roundup on the M. Graham watercolours, so I'm going to start with the Pro Points. These are bright, vibrant colours that mix together really well. They're really nice to work with. You can get really good results with them. They re-wet easily, so you're not scrubbing too hard at the pans. And overall they are just really, really nice, good pigment load. You won't be disappointed with them. The downsides to this is that the consistency of paint may not be for you. They do reactivate kind of easily on paper when you try to layer, so you have to use hard sided paper. These also are an investment paint. They're not as cheap as some other brands, but you do get a lot in the tubes. They're not widely available yet in Europe. However, in a couple of months when they are available on Jackson's, they will be a little bit more available and hopefully a little bit cheaper. So do keep an eye out for that. So this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to check out that description box if you'd like to find out a little bit more, and hopefully I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care.